Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you new here, my name is Donna, and for those of you not new, thank you so much for continuing to come back and support my channel. I appreciate all of you so very much. Today, in the spirit of jumping on a tag before it's expired, not doing it 6 months after the fact, so that nobody ever sees it, so that nobody knows what you're doing. This is a tag that was started by Froese and Froese Gooch. And they did it as a collaboration. I did see both of their videos when they first came out, but in addition to them doing it, I've also seen Mel Thompson do it. I've also seen a couple other creators doing it. And it really started or stemmed or sounds very much like the drugstore makeup tag that I did in December when I was doing my Vlogmas. And that tag was started by Jen Phelps, and I watched Mandy Lee do it as well. These questions are very similar to the drugstore makeup tag that you guys saw from me in December. I will go ahead and put these questions down in the description box, but please do go check out Jen Froese, Froese Gooch, Mel Thompson, they've all done this as well. And then Jen Phelps's drugstore tag, which I mentioned in my drugstore makeup tag. Now, just so we're clear, that makeup tag by Jen Phelps was started in like summer 2020, and I didn't do it until December. This one, the first time I saw it out there was like weeks ago. So I am on the spot. I am going, I am doing what's part of my makeup resolutions tag started by Mel Thompson, which you have seen or will see soon. This is the 4th video I am recording in this. So if this is not the first time you've seen me in this outfit and you're going, weird, that is correct. For those of you who have been around my channel for a while, you know that I am a district leader for Ulta Beauty. I do work really hard and really a lot Monday through Friday. So Saturday and Sunday are my filming, editing, uploading days. I am typically pre-filming quite a bit. The only ones that I don't wholeheartedly pre-film are this series on my channel. So my palette roulette series, in which I review palettes and work with one palette every single week. That one doesn't get pre-filmed, and the other one that doesn't get pre-filmed really is my Simply Sample series. The rest of my video content is all pre-filmed, uploaded, and made in a way that I don't have to worry about it the day before it goes up. So I'm sorry if this is the 15th time that you're seeing me in this outfit with this makeup. I can't do it any other way. I love both my things here. I love working for Ulta Beauty and I love doing my YouTube videos. So I have to do it in a way that makes sense to me. Pre-filming is that way. That is the way it works here. Welcome to my channel. So today I am doing the all about high-end makeup tag that was started by Froese Gooch and Jen Froese, which is funny to me that those are the two that started this, because Jen Froese is amazing. She does high-end luxury makeup reviews. She is right in this space so much. Froese Gooch, she's more drugstore. I also watch her quite a bit. I love her content. She uploads almost every single day, but it kind of struck me as odd that Kelly helped create this tag with Jenna because they're complete polar opposites as far as the beauty spectrum of content. So there's that. But I am excited to do this. I hope that you guys will, like I said, go watch their videos, get some ideas of what's going on. I will go ahead and list all the prompts down in my description box so that you guys can have the prompts as well. If you have a YouTube channel, I would love to see you guys do this. I'm sure they would love to see you guys do this as well. Please let me know. I would love to come and support your channel and see your answers. And with that being said, let's get into this. So the first one is, if you could only use one high-end brand, which would it be? So for this one, I kind of went back and forth. For those of you that are familiar with my channel, you know that there's basically 2 brands that I buy from religiously that are brands that I wholeheartedly love. And those brands are ABH and Natasha Denona. With that said, I have tried complexion products from ABH and love them. I've not tried complexion products from Natasha Denona yet. Because I have not tried complexion from Natasha Denona yet, I cannot say that that is the brand that I would wholeheartedly go after. I went with ABH on this because they do have a foundation that I absolutely love. This is like obviously my summer color, not my now color. They have highlighters that I love. They have eyeshadows that I own every single palette from them. They have brow products that aren't my favorite, but I know I will use because I have used them in the past. They would be the brand that I know if I had to live for the rest of my life without buying another brand ever, I could get everything I needed from them. Prompt number 2, what's the most underrated high-end makeup brand? I did put Bare Minerals. So I put Bare Minerals for 2 reasons. Froese Gooch talks about Bare Minerals all the time, but other than that, I don't see very many people talking about Bare Minerals at all. And they have some incredible products. They have a powder foundation that is fantastic. It's the only powder foundation I love. They have a powder, like setting powder, that is the Mineral Veil. This one is the tinted Mineral Veil. I love it. It is beautiful on the skin. They have eyeshadow. Their Gen Nude blushes are amazing. Their Gen Nude lipsticks are amazing. Like they also have skincare. They're a brand that is just all around a gorgeous offering out there to the beauty space, but they're never talked about. Their products are so good. What's the most overrated high-end brand? You guys, this absolutely comes down to personal preference, and I know that some of you are probably going to think that I am crazy. While I do believe that there are some stellar standout products from this brand, I also believe that it is way too overpriced. I went with Pat McGrath. Mama Pat. Oh my God. It pains my heart to say that because I truly do love Pat McGrath. I think that she has got some amazing special shadows. Again, this is personal preference, and I know people are going to come for me in the comments. I get it. I hate her matte formula. I love her special shades. I love her shimmers. Hate her mattes. Also, like, why? Why do her lipsticks cost so much damn money? Like, there is nothing spectacular about those lipsticks. Her lip glosses, also nothing spectacular about those. Like, I've had better, I've had worse. Her foundation is $70. $68, but still $70. I cannot, for the life of me, fathom why any foundation should cost that much money. Like, unless it's the only foundation that you're using, sure, maybe. But I have like 15 foundations sitting over here. I know that that's not going to be the only one that I use, number 1. Number 2, even if it was the only one I was using, to pay $70 every, like 6 weeks-ish, you know, ish, tops 2 months. $70 every 2 months to float through a foundation product just makes 0 sense to me. I have a hard time spending $50 on a foundation, and I will only buy a $50 foundation if I have a discount on it. So I can't even, $70 for a foundation is absolutely astronomical. And her palettes, like, this is stunning. It is so beautiful. It is so pretty, but they're not worth the $125 that they cost. It's all in this packaging. It's all in this packaging. Because I guarantee you these shadows did not cost them that much to formulate. I guarantee you that. And the amount that you get in here, I think she's overpriced. And I think that she's overrated. And I think that she has beautiful products. Yes. But I don't think that her lipstick price is worth it. I don't think her lip gloss price is worth it. I hesitate to believe that her foundation price is worth it. I can't speak to it because I don't own it. I have this one. I haven't bought any other ones because I don't think that they're worth it. I don't like the mattes, and this is mostly matte. I did buy her Celestial Divinity palette. I love that palette. I love it. But it has 3 mattes and the rest are shimmers. I bought both of the minis. The minis have 5 shimmer shadows in them. I do think her shimmers are worth it. I do not think the rest of it is. I think that she's overrated. There you go. I said it. Please don't come for me in the comments. Yep, so let's move on. Number 4. What's your favorite high-end product under $50? I would have to say the Killawatt highlighting palette, or oh my god, the Killawatt highlighter duos are my favorite high-end under $50 product. I could have went with some palettes, but I'm going to talk an awful lot about palettes throughout this. Honestly, some of my favorite high-end palettes are more than $50, so let's go there. I could have went with a foundation. I can't really say that I've found a favorite high-end. Palettes and highlighters seem to be like my attraction. They're, you know, where I really go ham. So I went with either a highlighter or a palette. I chose a highlighter. This one is my favorite one, and it is Lightning, Dust, and Fire Crystal. And you guys will see I actually have pan in this highlighter because this one here, because I have used it so much. You guys, this is just so pretty, and it's beautiful on the skin. And then this one here is the more subtle of the two. And look, I mean, they're just gorgeous. They're gorgeous. And I have to say, the component is beautiful. The component of all Fenty products are really quite stellar. Number 5, what's your hidden gem from the high-end category that no one talks about? And I have to say that I'm not really quite certain that nobody talks about these, but I don't hear about them a lot. I know that Lauren May Beauty talks about them sometimes. They are the Clinique Cheek Pops. You guys, these are fantastic blushes. And I think that Clinique gets a really bad rap because, you know, they're makeup that our grandmas used to wear, or our great grandmas, depending on what age you are. Clinique Cheek Pops are blushes that last forever on your face. They go on so beautifully. They just kind of melt into your skin. They're not like a cream to powder at all, but they are beautiful. And this one here is Fig Pop, so it's a little bit darker. I do like a darker blush on my face. And then this one is Heather Pop, and it is a little bit more pink. I love these blushes. These blushes are beautiful powder blushes, and for somebody who has aging skin or more mature skin or texture, these go on so beautifully onto your skin, and you can't even really see any kind of texturization that comes from it. This one in Fig Pop I've used, obviously you guys can see that this is my kind of color because I have used it so much that the daisy is almost gone from it, whereas in this one it's not. They're imprinted well. Their packaging is fantastic. It's like plastic, but it's this really thick, beautiful, sturdy plastic. I think that these are the hidden gem. What's your favorite high-end foundation? I would have to say my favorite high-end foundation is this. It is the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie. I have a real love-hate relationship with Pure, so I go back and forth with whether I'm going to try a Pure product or not. And that 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie, I think I sat on for quite some time before I finally decided to try it. It is a really heavy, medium, buildable formula that is spectacular. It is so beautiful on the skin. It goes on so well. Their shade range is astronomical. They have a huge undertone range in their shade range. I am LN6, which is light neutral 6, but they have like light neutral 4, light neutral 2. Like they match to undertone, match to, I just cannot with that foundation. It is spectacular. It's the most beautiful foundation. In addition to the fact that it was given all kinds of props by Christy from Raw Beauty Christy, that's really what pushed me over the edge to try it, and I have never looked back. Like, this is my 3rd bottle because I just know that if I'm struggling with my base, I know that if I put that on my face, it's going to fix it all. To be honest, it's like magic in a bottle. In addition to that, this guy, when you unscrew the top, there is a doe foot in here. This piece is a doe foot, so you can also use it for spots on your face. It's an amazing foundation. Number 7, what products do you tend to buy more at the high-end price point? I have to be honest, and those of you that are familiar with my channel, you know this. I very rarely purchase anything from the drugstore side of the store. Most of what I get is high-end. But when I think about the products that I typically will pull from the high-end side more so than the other, I would say it would be palettes and highlighters. I very rarely myself purchase from the drugstore when it comes to those two things. I find that highlighters are just so powdery when they come from the drugstore, and they don't do much for my, you know, old AF skin, any kind of texture that I have on my face. They emphasize. I remember finding out that Jessica Braun really raved about the JCat Beauty illuminating powder, and I remember thinking, how does she like that? Because I remember trying that product in just a little tiny guy size and feeling like I looked 800 years old with that powder on my face. So, I mean, makeup is subjective. Yes, we all like or dislike certain items. Absolutely. She's allowed to like that. Yes, she is. I don't. I really prefer for my eyeshadows and my powders, I guess, to come from the high-end realm.
Or everything to come from the high-end realm, if we're being honest.
So number 9, what is your favorite high-end limited edition product? So my favorite high-end limited edition, from the perspective of palettes and highlighters, my favorite high-end limited edition items are these two guys here. So we have the ABH Emery's highlighter and the Kat Von D Saint and Sinner palette. And this was back when it was Kat Von D, obviously. This is the first more than $50 high-end palette that I ever purchased for myself. And honestly, I fell in love with just this packaging. It is just stellar. And nobody ever said that Kat Von D didn't know how to do packaging, because she definitely did. And then you open it up and it has these two beautiful mirrors, but it bends all the way back, and this is the palette. So what I loved about this palette is, as a person who was brand new into makeup, like, I really wanted to do color. But I also was stuck in this place where I was mostly doing neutrals because I was terrified of color. This helped me really dig in and celebrate those moments that I really wanted to do some kind of neutral eye look with a pop of color. It also helped me learn. I recreated a Tara Baby's eye look with like an orange, red, and brown, or yellow, red, and brown eye look. I'll see if I can't find a picture and put it in here for you. With this palette, like, my fondest memories from first starting my channel really come from me playing with this palette. I just feel like it's very inclusive. There's so many different color stories that you could go to with that. And then my favorite highlighter is, of course, the ABH Emery's highlighter. I think this is everybody's favorite, honestly. If you purchased it, you know. This formula is just so beautiful, so pretty, and I love a gold highlight on me, but look at how, like, just beautiful that highlight is. It is also a formulation that blends out well. It really doesn't sink down into your fine lines. It could look very subtle, very beautiful, very like lit from within, but also not, also kind of see me from the moon. I love this highlight. Love this highlight. And I didn't make it onto the first Emery's train. I had to wait for it to restock, and I'm very thankful that it restocked to pick it up, because I just wasn't that much into highlight at the time. And then I heard all of the hubbub about it on the YouTubes and decided I needed it, but at that time it wasn't for sale yet, and then they restocked it, and I was like, yes, please. I have to break the rules. I had to have to. The next one is, what's your best high-end eyeshadow formula? You all know, if you're familiar with me and my channel, that I wholeheartedly believe Natasha Denona has the best eyeshadow formula. With that said, I do know that she plays a lot. She likes to come up with new formulations. She likes to come up with new things. She's very innovative. She tries, you know, whatever. When she does that, sometimes those formulas aren't 100% when she puts them in a palette, and that comes across as inconsistency. What I would say is that those moments happen, yes, but bar none, her formulation works well for me every single time I use it. It's never patchy. It blends like a dream. It goes onto my lid and doesn't show texture. I think that she just has the most beautiful eyeshadow formula out there. So, and unlike Pat McGrath, I love her mattes as much as I love her shimmers. I would buy an all matte palette from her as much as I would buy an all shimmer palette from her. So I have to go with Natasha Denona here. Number 11, what's the worst high-end eyeshadow formula? I have to say Too Faced, and I think I kind of played on this a little bit. I don't know. I'm recording way too many videos today, and maybe this wasn't another video. But their formulation is so inconsistent. You never know what you're going to get palette to palette, and sometimes within the same palette, you never know what you're going to get. I have 3 palettes by them that I have kept in my collection, but I've had multiple palettes by them that I have decluttered out of my collection because I just don't like them. Not don't like them, find them to be hugely inconsistent. There isn't one of their palettes that I have had in my collection that has been a consistent formula throughout the entire palette. There isn't a palette that they do that I have loved entirely. The closest comes to the Too Faced Chocolate Gold and the Too Faced Peach, right? Sweet Peach palette. I do have those 2. They stayed in my collection. I also have the Razzleberry one, but only because I haven't tried it yet. I would just say that their eyeshadow formula just isn't amazing. Their shimmers they're not as impactful as they could be. Even the Chocolate Gold palette, which I raved about at one point in time, like I've seen better shimmers since having that shimmer formula. But those are shimmers done right by Too Faced, because all the other ones in their palettes aren't really spectacular. In addition to the fact that when they put out a holiday collection, like those palettes are shit. I don't know if you guys have tried them before, but they're awful. Like I straight up tried one, gave it to my daughter because it's like playing with kid makeup. It's awful. What high-end brand did you used to love but aren't so crazy about anymore? I would say NARS. Like I don't think that I love their packaging. Their packaging is so like prestigious. I feel like it is very luxe and beautiful and feels really good in your hand. But I think that their blush has ran the gamut, and I think that they've done way too much with Orgasm. I think that they need to hop off that train real quick. I think that their bronzers are whatever. They're just whatever. I have the NARS Tryst palette, and I think this is where a little bit of my love was lost with them. I have the NARS Tryst palette that was like a blush palette from a couple years ago, a couple Christmases ago. The packaging, again, stellar. I love their packaging. But the content inside that blush palette, like those blushes have zero pigmentation. Zero pigmentation. The highlight is shit. It's not a good highlight. And I don't know. I don't like their eyeshadows. I'm over Orgasm. I'm over Laguna bronzer. I'm over it. I'm over NARS. I do have a foundation that I used to love by them. And now they have that new like soft focus foundation I thought about trying. But honestly, when I think of brands out there that I want to purchase something from, NARS is very rarely on my list anymore, whereas it used to be one of the first ones on my list. Number 13, what high-end product did you not expect to like, but it totally wowed you? Right off the bat, I can say it's this. It's the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Hydrating Longwear Foundation. I hated her first foundation. There's always a brand that, you think of that doesn't have something that you like from it. Her foundation was awful, and she came out hot onto the scene. 50 shades of this one foundation. It was beautiful. I tried it on my face. It made me look like Tales from the Crypt. I looked awful. I looked like, do you guys remember Fraggles? I looked like the ogre Fraggle. And that might be dating me, I'm not sure. Or maybe even dinosaurs. Mama Dinosaur. That's what I looked like. Mama Dinosaur. I looked horrible in it. So when she came out with the hydrating one, I didn't have huge expectations from it. And honestly, the first time I put it on my face, I hated it. And then I gave it a second shot. Tried it, different application, tried it with a brush, then smoothed it out with my blender instead of trying to blend it into my skin with a beauty blender, and it looked beautiful, and I bought a full size. I tried it out in my sample series and ended up buying a full size. Number 14, what is your favorite high-end eyeshadow palette right now? You guys, I think I have ranked my eyeshadow palettes, or did my top 10, and therefore many of you probably know that my favorite eyeshadow palette right now is my Natasha Denona Gold. With that said, like, I do have some new Natasha Denona palettes that I have not really gotten a chance to try. I did get the Trio Chrome for Christmas, and sadly I haven't tried it. I picked up the Metropolis myself prior to Christmas because I was buying that one, not the Trio Chrome, and I still haven't gotten to try it. It is in my shop, my stash, but you guys know I do a palette roulette series, and kind of get sucked into that one palette. So with that said, there are some eyeshadow palettes that I haven't gotten to try yet in her line that I'm sure are fantastic. But my favorite Natasha Denona palette has to be, or my favorite palette, period. This came in at number 1 in my ranking, my Natasha Denona palettes, and this probably is my favorite palette overall. It's one that I find myself pulling for, you know, multiple times, dependent on what I need for my eye look. This is the Natasha Denona Gold, and this is what it looks like. And this is actually an old Natasha Denona palette. This one was launched, I think, last year, 2019, not last year, 2020. But with that said, this is a palette that I did not pick up until early 2020 because I wasn't buying this. I mean, it is brown. It's brown, and if you're familiar with my channel, you know that brown is just not where I steer in my eyeshadow. This is more my style. This reds, pinks, purples, oranges, flashy, beautiful, bright, colorful colors. I mean, look at my hair. Tell me my eyes aren't going to look very similar. This is not my cup of tea, but this palette is so pretty. This is a beautiful palette, and whereas you guys are seeing this one as a beautiful, like, limey green tone, I am looking at it and it looks very like almost peachy. So beautiful shiftiness to this palette, beautiful colors, all of them work really well together, and you have these beautiful pops of brown that aren't really brown. Like, you have this brown that is a brown, right? Beautiful chocolate brown, but then you have this like lighter mustard tone of brown that is a beautiful tone of like mustard. Then you have this brown that is, I mean, all the browns in this palette, even though there are so many browns in this palette, they all are so different and create such interesting eye looks when paired with these other colorful shadows in here. I could go on and on and on about Natasha Denona. With that being said, you guys, that is my all about high-end makeup tag. Again, this tag was started by Froese and Froese Gooch. I hope that you guys will go check out theirs as well. Everything will be listed down in my description box, as well as some of the other people that I have seen do this. Some people that have a much higher knowledge of what's out there in the luxury price tag for sure, but this is, as told by me, all about high-end makeup tag, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that if you have a YouTube channel out there and you want to do this tag, you will go down into the description box, copy and paste all of the questions into a form for yourself. Do it. Do the video. I would love to come and see it. And if not, tell me what your favorites are down in the comment section. I would love to hear from you guys down there. So with that being said, that is it. That is all. And I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that if you did, you're considering giving it a big thumbs up. It really does help our channels out here. Helps us be seen. Helps us grow. Lets YouTube know that we have content that people like. And even if you don't like it, please give me a thumbs down and tell me why. Give me some feedback down there in the comment section. I would love to hear back from you. If you guys are thinking about doing this tag, please let me know. I would love to come and support your channel. And if you don't have a channel, but you still want to give me some answers, please put it down there in the comment section. I would love to hear from you guys down there, and I would love to converse with you guys down there. I hope that you guys did like this video though, and I hope that you liked it or me enough that you're considering subscribing, sticking around, having a grand old time, and being a part of my wonderful YouTube family here, riding along on my midlife crisis. And I would love to see you become a part of my family. If you do that, please don't forget to hit the notification bell, because I do upload content multiple times a week and I would hate for you to miss anything. I hope that 2021 is treating you all kindly. I hope that you and yours are staying safe and healthy out there and wearing your mask when you're out in public, because we're still in this place where we need to keep ourselves safe, if for no other reason. Put that mask on. I hope that you all are loving each other, but loving each other from afar. And until next time, bye everyone.